a fun and easy tutorial on decoupage. We're going to do 2 wood plaques today with the Christmas cardinal. I have a friend that loves Christmas cardinals, and it's going to make a great gift for her. And it's going to make a great gift for your person too. So let's get started. Okay, everything you're going to need is going to be in the description below. Just click on the links, it'll take you right to where you need to be. Items you're going to need is 2 of these wooden plaques. You can use any size you want depending on what napkin you have, really, or rice paper. I chose the red cardinal. A couple of good paintbrushes. I'm going to use a sponge pouncer to put the white chalk paint on. I like to use white chalk because, one, it dries faster, and it's just a little bit better than the acrylic. And never use oil. And Mod Podge. You can use matte or the gloss, it doesn't really matter. And whatever type of embellishments you think that you might want to put around it when it's done. Also, to get the napkin to stick onto the wood, you're going to need some parchment paper and your trusty iron. First thing you're going to do is you're going to paint your wood plaque, both of them, with white chalk. And that's why I like to use this sponge pouncer, and I'll show you why. The coverage is so much easier to do than with a regular paintbrush. Just kind of get it on there. You don't want to overload it, but get enough on there, moderate amount, and just start to paint it. The reason we paint it white, if you remember from the other video, is because you want your bright colors to pop through. They're never going to pop through if you're using the same type of color or any color. That's just my opinion. So you're going to do both of these, and we're going to let them dry. Okay, we're going to let them dry, and then we're going to put the Mod Podge on. So while we're waiting for that paint to dry, what we're going to do is we're going to separate the napkin. Now this was in 4 parts, but I cut it right in half because I want to have one of the plaques have this side and the other have this side. It's going to be beautiful. I can't wait to see it when it's done. So let's get these other plies off of the paper, because you only want to use the first colorful side. So just gently tear that off. That's ply number 1. And the last one could be a bit tricky, but you can see the end eventually. And then you just take it off. And if it gets a little caught sometimes, don't panic. Just be real careful of ripping it off. Just peel it on back. And with those plies off, the back of it almost looks like the front. And that's what we're going to use. Make sure your steamer is on off. You don't want any steam when you're doing decoupage. Okay, our paint is dry on both the plaques. You want to put I can get it open. Okay. You want to put enough on there so that the napkin stays, but you don't want to put too much because you don't want it bubbling. It's messy. So a moderate amount. And you just paint it. Okay, just paint it on there. And we're going to let this dry after. You don't really need a lot, just enough for that thin napkin to stick when the glue gets hot from the iron. And you'll do both plaques. And we're gonna let this dry. The glue is dry on the plaques. We have our parchment paper. We have our iron set to medium high. Absolutely no steam. Let's see if we can't frame these out. Haven't really decided which way I want them to go. These are so beautiful. They're gonna look fantastic. Now, if you notice, I'm going to have a little bit of room on the edges, but that's what the embellishments are for. So that's gonna cover it up, and then we'll put 2 little holes for the wall hanger in the back, which is very simple as well. Iron's hot. Let's get this started. You have it lined up perfectly. Make sure you line it up exactly where you want it, because once you start, there's no stopping it. You'd have to start all over. And just gently put it on there. And that's going to start heating up the glue. Let's see. Yep, she's on there. You don't want to underheat so it doesn't stick, but you definitely don't want to overheat it either. Then you're going to get bubbles. And she's on there. We'll go ahead and cut the excess off after. So to get the excess off, because we don't want that extra, instead of getting a scissor, we're going to take a little basic nail file. This is pretty crappy looking, but it'll do. And you're going to go in the same direction. I guess it's a good piece there. Don't ever go up and down. Just stay in the same direction. And it should just come off fairly easy. Look at that, perfect. Okay, we're gonna end up varnishing it before we put the embellishments on. One little thing I wanted to show you that I do when I do the wall plaques or anything else that has to do with wood is I will give it a distressed look on the sides, give it a little bit of an aged look. And I love using the Ranger Distress Oxide Vintage Photo. And what you'll do is just re-wet it if it's been sitting around for a while. Just re-wet it a little bit with the alcohol spritzer, away from the photo, obviously. Dab it on there until you get a little bit on. This baby was a little bit dry. What is clicking over there? Okay. And what I do is I just go right around the edges with it. Sorry about that clicking. Isn't that neat? Just makes it look like it's been sitting around for a while, hanging on a wall for years, and it really hasn't. I love using this. Where did I learn to do this? From YouTube. There's so many great crafters on YouTube, and I'm so appreciative to all of them for all of your tips and tricks. Isn't that amazing? I just love that. I love that look. Okay, go ahead and do it to the other one, and I'll see you back here. Okay, as you can see, they turned out really good. I sprayed on the shellac. I don't like to use Mod Podge because for some reason when you put it on a napkin, it tends to bubble still. I don't get it, but if you have any suggestions out there, let me know. But I like to spray shellac. One swipe and you can say, I mean, it's glossy, shiny, and it dries in 10 minutes. You can't beat it. Okay, so now it's time for the embellishments. And God knows I got enough out here. What I wanted to do is I pulled some of this green because it's got some glitter on it. I'm not a really huge glitter fan, but it's gonna look nice for Christmas. And what else do I have? Hobby Lobbies, the Paper Studio, they have all kinds of Christmas stuff. Just grab pretty much wherever you think will look nice. I have too much here probably, but that's okay. We're gonna try these right on the outside and see how that looks. I like to use these self-stick ones on most of my projects. Okay, let me see. Let's go with the glittery one. I think that's just gonna look a little bit more festive. And these are self-adhering. They have the strip on here, but sometimes when the weather's a little bit colder, they don't like to stay on. So we're going to use that little heat trick I showed you. And if you didn't see it, it's on the adhesive embellishment video. And the little trick is a heat gun. That's all we do to get it to stay on permanently. And we're going to cut that edge right there. Yeah, I definitely like that. We'll put a couple of those on there. See how cute? I like that a lot. Sorry about that glare. I'm not really sure how to get rid of it. So a little bit of glue on that. Very little. You don't need a lot because then all it does is ends up melting it. Piece there. Then we'll get a piece that goes off to the not too big. Too big. How about this guy? Yes. Yeah. That looks really cute so far. I like it. Okay, we got both of these covered. And they're looking really beautiful. So now, I'm not going to use, obviously, half the stuff that I got out, but I'm kind of liking these. Are these Paper Studio as well? I'm not sure. But you can find all the embellishments in your local craft store, dollar store. Always try the dollar store first. And, oh yeah, that one. Okay. So we're going to put these, I think, one right at the bottom. Yeah, that'll look cute. Let's do that. I'm going to put my email address in the description as well. I really would love to see some of your work. Anything that you've done off of my videos, I'm just dying to see somebody's work. How's that looking? Very cute. Okay. And a little red bow, maybe? I don't know. Yeah, that looks cute. We're gonna do that. Looking pretty cute. I really wish I could get rid of that glare for you. All right. Definitely a couple of these. They have a little bit of green on them. I'll have a link where I got these from. I use these on all my crafts and they come in all different types of colors too. They're just adorable. And the green is a nice touch. Little dab there. And we're gonna put one over here in that corner. This is really turning out better than I expected. Okay, finished product. Doesn't it look beautiful? I absolutely love the way they came out. And I know whoever you give them to will love them just as well. If you don't have the exact embellishments for the sides, use what you have. It's going to be gorgeous. Now, what I didn't do was I forgot to put the wall hanging bracket on there first. And you don't want to slam it down. So I'm going to show you one of my little tricks I use. I'm going to use this little tiny thing of the plastic white pearls I use on a lot of crafts, and we're going to measure it. Just eye it up, I guess. I think that's about what we would need. Right there is good. Then I'm going to snip it a little bit extra, and I'll show you how I do it. You can either use crazy glue, but what I love is this stuff I got in Ace Hardware. You can also order it online. I'll have the link below. It's called BONDIC, and it's a liquid plastic, basically. And you would just take the tip off and put it wherever you need it to be. This stuff is phenomenal if you do shows and something falls off right away. You don't want to get messy with the crazy glue. Get this stuff. I'm telling you, you'll love it. And it uses an ultraviolet light to harden it. Within 4 seconds, it's done. So let's get started on that. Put 2 little holes, not even holes really, just enough to stick the pearl inside, and then plant it in there. Just right there. Yeah. Now, lay your plaque down, put 1 drop, like that. And I'm going to have to kill this light because then it won't work. And put your embellishment right where you want it. And then hit it with the light. And for extra reinforcement, I'm going to go over it, right over the top. So there's no fear of it coming off. See that? And there you have it. Nice and sealed. She's not going anywhere. If you got anything from the video, please consider subscribing and slam the like button. Please also follow the email address because I would love to see some pictures of your work. Thanks again so much for watching.